where a lot of it pops out
Flip
of
the switch, turn it on. Animation's never gone from Toontown tales to frames that glow. Behind the scenes, come join the show. It's Lightbox, bright ideas, cartoons alive. Lightbox, where animation thrives. Sketch it, ink it, bring it to life. Let's talk anime, art, and cartoons tonight. Lightbox, the internet way.
Ooh. Welcome to Lightbox, the official podcast of Wanimate, the West Australian Animation Association. Whether you're an aspiring animator, a seasoned professional, or simply a fan of the magical world of animation, you've come to the right place. I'm Tanya Beeson.
David O'Connell.
I'm Lindsay Flay.
Yes. Each month. Oh, go on. Do it.
Oh, and we'll be your guide on this monthly journey into the heart of the animation industry in Western Australia. Each month, Lightbox will bring you the latest and greatest in animation news, from upcoming films and shows to industry discussions that will inspire and empower the talented animators who call West Australia home. We'll also delve into the creative processes and challenges faced by our local animators as they work tirelessly to bring their unique visions to life. So, buckle up and get ready to be amazed as we explore the vibrant, ever-evolving world of Western Australian animation. This is Lightbox, and we're just getting started.
Okay. And we wish to acknowledge the owners and traditional custodians of the land we're streaming from, the Whadjuk people of the Noongar Nation. We recognise and celebrate their enduring culture, the rich tapestry of Indigenous arts, and the individual contributions they've made to the vibrancy and cultural diversity of this city and region.
Okay, so before we dive into today's content, we'd like to issue a quick advisory warning. So kids, gather around and turn that sound up. While our channel is generally suitable for most audiences, there may be occasions when we delve into topics or showcase content that might not be appropriate for younger viewers. We strive to create engaging and enjoyable content for everyone, but please be advised that some material may not be suitable for children. Parental discretion is advised, and we encourage you to review the content before sharing it with younger audiences. Our goal is to provide a safe and enjoyable viewing experience for all, and we appreciate your understanding and support. There's a couple of items that would probably fit into that category tonight, I suspect.
Yeah, probably. But
so watch out, kids.
I have to say, totally had a discussion about it and completely threw myself out by the launch of the show. And you guys have been handling things without me, and now I'm now I'm just superfluous, so it's pretty cool.
Welcome back, Tanya, and hello to Connor behind the scenes, dealing with everything on the technical basis.
There he is. Look at that.
And
Thank you, Connor. Good to see you back there, Tanya. I hear you had a fantastic tour and marriage across Europe.
I did. It was really, really, really cool. The limoncello is great.
Nice.
It was very cool. I did manage to see a couple of animations while I was away and catch up on some things. Turkish Airways had a good media system, so allowed me to catch up on things I missed. Yeah.
So what European animations did you see?
None of them. I saw the Disney ones that I'd missed. Yeah.
It was so close.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard when you're behind in your viewing. I was away for 3 months. Jeez.
Yeah, true. 3 months.
Yeah, it's not like I was. Yeah.
Cool. All right.
So, okay, let's get on to the news then, shall we?
Okay.
Should I do the obituaries, which seems to be?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, we've got a few because we've been away for a couple of months. So, Rest in peace to Julie Erickson, so the voice actor for My Hero Academia, One Piece, and Fairy Tail. For My Hero Aka, I think she was Remedy Girl. Also to Gloria Rocha, godmother of Latin American dubbing, was everyone from Velma and Scooby-Doo to Sailor Moon, and there's one other I'm missing. Anyway, sorry. And finally to composer Guy Moon. So he was a composer. He's done a number of animated things, but probably the one he's best known is for the music of Fairly Odd Parents.
Oh.
So yeah.
Okay.
Stranger Things. Most of us caught up with the series finale over the break.
Confession.
Well, they've announced a spin-off, which is kind of sandwiched in between, I think, season 3 and season 4?
2 and 3.
2 and 3, sorry. There we go.
Yeah. It's going to be fun. I did manage to squeeze the last couple of episodes of Stranger Things out while I was overseas. There was no way I was going to avoid it because within minutes of it going up, there was spoilers all over the place. It was horrendous.
And I have managed to miss all of them. It's good.
Wow.
Yeah. It's amazing when you're not on Facebook anymore.
You got to be connected to the internet. Yeah, that's.
Oh, yeah.
So, we're getting an animated spin-off for it. So that's going to be Stranger Things Tales from 85.
Oh.
Cool. All right. Ooh.
Oscar nominations have been announced. We've got Best Animated Features. So Arco, which hasn't screened here yet, but I believe is coming to Luna in a month or two's time. Elio, K-pop Demon Hunters, Little Amelia or the Character of Rain, which I don't think has got a general release here. It may have got a festival screening, and Zootopia 2. So, yeah, we might be talking about a couple of those later on down the track.
My suspicions based on, the talk out there, but I've actually only seen 2 of them, so I'm curious to see the other 3.
I think I've actually managed to miss all of them this year so far, so I'm going to have to backtrack and backfill. Okay, a weird piece of local news. The AFC Women's Asian Cup 2026 opening ceremony on March 1st promises to be a golden night with K-pop Demon Hunter star Audrey Nuna set to transform the Matildas clash with the Philippines into an epic celebration of the sports, music, culture at Perth Stadium.
Go Tillies!
Nice.
All right, so let's go into what's coming soon. So February 5th, we've got Scarlet by the director responsible for The Girl Who Leapt Through Time and Wolf Children. Also coming out February 5th, we've got live action, We Bury the Dead, but the special effects turning Albany into Tasmania, and Tasmania into a post-apocalyptic zombie wasteland.
Oh, okay.
Had a good chat with Zach about the film. It looks really good. I managed to see 10 minutes of the behind the scenes.
I caught it Friday. It's got some. There's a lot there to recommend it. I think it's better as a genre piece than as a drama piece. It kind of meshes both. But yeah, the some of the things it does with the zombie genre is quite interesting.
Yeah, there's and the effects are done here in Perth at Siamese.
Yes, cool. It's Siamese. I was just about to say that. So yep, perfect.
Yeah.
So yeah, okay. So we've also got Little Wonder Bear coming on February 12th. February 20th, Strip Law. February 28th, Sophia the First, Once Upon a Princess. Basically, that's a young Disney animation. And March 12th, we have Goat coming out in cinemas. So, and on to the next one, if you'd be kind enough.
Yeah, no problem.
Yep, no problem. As far as
our back behind the scenes steering committee has stopped steering.
And we're still trying to work out who's got the wheel again.
Yeah, no. It's all right. I've got control. I can hold it.
Just as long as we haven't run aground, that's all.
Okay, so local screenings. Okay, so February 16th at the Luna, The Boy and the Heron, and Whispers of the Heart.
Oh, I haven't seen either of those. So.
No, right.
It's a good double.
February 28th at Revival House, Beauty and the Beast. February 28th, I think this is also Revival, Akira. And March 19th, Luna's launching a new sort of weekly thing, or weekly or monthly animation perspective called Tokyo Nights. And first off the rack is Angel's Egg.
Ooh, that's on my playlist.
Okay, so
it's only one I've heard from in Legend. That one.
It is an intense film to watch. Just so you're aware, I managed to see it last year actually.
Yeah, I think Umbrella did a 4K release of it.
It was
really.
It's cool, but it's interesting and it's very arty and very out there, and the animation is great. So
every time I look up Mobius, someone's making a mention of Angel's Egg somewhere. So it's definitely on my kind of list of things to see.
I feel the slow ponderousness of it would appeal to the Kubrick fan in you.
Oh yes, absolutely. And I think it's a 90s film, 80s film, around that vintage. So it's pretty ancient, and it's all analog. So it'll be quite something.
So our topic for the month. We are talking about what was the best of 2025.
Okay.
So it's a weird sort of year. It's been a pretty stacked year as far as animation goes, or at least as far as anime goes. And we've had some quite a fair few animated movies released as well. So we've had a really good year for breadth of field. I don't know if there's anything that stands out like too far above the crowd, but we've got some really solid contenders.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I was going to ask before we get started. Did anyone notice any trends this year? Because I've noticed a few. I'm just wondering if anyone else has noticed anything.
The thing I've noticed is a rise in the small short, and a lot of the independent productions. Unless I don't know if that's a trend or whether it's just wishful thinking or I've been subjected to an algorithm or something. But everything from flow and all that sort of stuff seems to be sort of establishing itself a little bit. I'd like to think there's a sort of kind of a little bit of a revival going as the main Hollywood studio franchise system shrivels up its own backside basically and disappears. And then there's a vacuum left that everyone else fills. And I suspect that vacuum is going to be a grassroots one. At least I'd like to think so.
I think there's another contender out there.
Sorry, does someone want to explain Connor's little picture here?
It's pretty good, I gotta say. It's very nice, Connor. Good work, son.
Cool. Ryan Iron Lung by Mark Fishbowl, Markiplier. Yeah. Okay. I actually am too old to be following Markiplier, so.
Who?
Yeah.
Oh God.
I have to admit, I haven't had a chance to see that yet. I don't know if it got a preview screening here, or if it did, I didn't hear about it. So.
Ooh. It does look good.
Yeah. It should be interesting. One of the things I was going to say, the other possible filler of the vacuum is Chinese animation has definitely been quite good. We've had a few great releases from Chinese animation this year. Naze 2 was is great. Look, if you get a chance to see it, I highly recommend it. It starts off as a very juvenile, puerile, fight-based comedy sort of thing, and by the end of it, it's gone full Chinese epic, and it is just jaw-dropping to watch. Absolutely jaw-dropping to watch. We've also had some good series for Chinese anime, Donghua, I believe it's the pronunciation, such as Lords of Mystery and To Be Hero X. Lord of Mysteries, I'm not that partial to. It just seems a little bit over-egged. But To Be Hero X is a quite interesting take on the superhero genre. Basically, superpowers are powered by belief of others. So you've almost got an idol competition to be a superhero. And that is quite interesting.
Held up by faith.
Yeah. The other trends, AI, of course, made an impact this year, with Prime using it to dub some of its anime into English with bad results early in the year, and Crunchyroll briefly swapped its subtitling service to a more AI-based model, and has since switched back. It's now actually saying the names of the human contributors at the end of its titles, both those that have contributed to the translation and those that have checked over the translation. So they've obviously experienced a fair bit of backlash in that regard.
Well, it's you got to moderate and manage this stuff. You just can't let it run loose. It just goes all over the place. So yeah.
I think we also got our first AI, like 97% contribution by AI, generative AI anime this year, which I haven't had a chance to watch, but you could only hate watch so much. It's supposed to be absolutely terrible.
There's been absolutely no shortage of hate watching on all kinds of things.
Yeah. There's a lot of options for that.
Yeah, it's only February. What am I saying?
Sorry. And I guess the last thing I noticed last year, as far as anime goes, there's been a shift to a number of middle-aged protagonists. Obviously, as the audience starts aging out, they'll shift some series to keep up with that. So you've got things like Kaiju number 8, which got its second season this year, Country Bumpkin Swordsman, and even Wants to Be a Kamen Rider. Sort of protagonists of the 40s and above.
Right. All taking a leaf out of the book of Carol at the End of the World. So which was spectacular.
I mean, that's good, really. I mean, it's also kind of this sort of thing is kind of reminding me when the games industry suddenly discovered non-player games, like non-fiction, and there was this kind of realization that's about 10 or 15 years ago, and suddenly everybody was getting to this new trend, and basically what it was like, oh wait, games at this point have been like, and the school library just sitting in the beanbags reading kids' books, and then they've suddenly discovered the other 99% of the library is everything from technical manuals to encyclopedias to histories to biographies to all the non-fiction in there. And it's almost like, oh yeah, it isn't just for kids, and they don't just make adult stuff, they make actual adult stuff, like grown-up stuff that only grown-ups would care about or know about. So I'm happy about that. That's good.
Yeah.
No?
A broader audience is a good thing.
Seriously.
Absolutely.
It's all cool. Well, right. I suppose I should get into my stuff. I would say, getting into
this looks like my slides. So
okay, well, take it away, Tanya.
Well, okay. So the guilty pleasure, of course, for me for this year is totally Lesbian Space Princess. It was fun, Australian-made, queer, awesome animation, and I'm sure I talked it up a zillion times previously, but yeah, if you get a chance to check it out, do so, because it's fun, and support Australian animations, except the new Pauline Hanson one.
Oh, that's nothing new there.
Yeah,
Okay.
well,
Definitely on my list. I think I'll give that top priority.
so yeah, Lesbian Space Princess is, I suppose, what can I say that I haven't said about it before? It is definitely the guilty pleasure movie. It's fun. It's one I really went with it. So it's a little bit old school in terms of its style. It's a little bit rough around the edges, and I say that completely with love. So cool. Okay. Honorable mention for me. The not quite the best animation of the year, but definitely one I really, really enjoyed. Or, of course, going back and feeling the original Looney Tunes, Daffy Duck and Porky Pig, and Farmer Dan, which is very, very cool. Yeah, it's good to see a Warner Brothers movie that's totally not focusing on bugs as the main character, or for some reason basketball.
Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, cool little fun little story. Petunia Pig is a great new, not new character, but
Not new, but yeah, underutilized,
revived character, and
Yeah.
The characters come across well done. I suppose I'm a Chuck Jones fan, and Daffy does feel very, very early Warner Brothers, pre Chuck Jones. So you're
Tex Avery.
Tex Avery.
Yeah, he's full screwball Daffy.
Yeah, it's totally that level. But it's fun to see the characters animated again, and it's a nice, tight little animation with some fun moments in it that just carry through. The guys who do the voices are good as well, so they don't feel like skewing too far from Mel Blanc's voices. As an example, these days, I watched the interview with Kermit the Frog about the new revival of the Muppet Show, and I just Jim Henson is Kermit's voice, but Steve Whitmire did a really good job. I really quite enjoyed when Steve got behind, and since Steve's left, the voices have just not hit. Like Steve Whitmire managed to get the sassy Kermit, which I don't think a few that might have been the reason he got fired. But I don't think the modern voices have got it. I didn't feel like the voices were out of place for the day the Earth blew up. So yeah, very cool. So that is totally my, little hidden gem. And of course, the Mighty Nine. If you've followed Critical Role through their various iterations, I have to admit I came into the streamed role-playing game of the Mighty Nine from the beginning, and I watched it all the way through. I have not engaged 100% in Vox Machina. I haven't engaged 100% in Hell's Bells post that, and I'm not up to date because I was away with the new campaign that's being run by Brennan Lee Mulligan. But the Mighty Nine overall is a stronger, more coherent story. It goes a little bit deeper, goes a little bit darker. The animation does change from the tabletop game. quite a bit story-wise. It tightens up a lot of the story beats, slightly changed some of the intros to the characters and how they came together. But yeah, it's doing a great job. Like, it feels very, very comfortable, and you're, unlike Vox Machina, where the characters are just assholes, these characters have levels of trauma running through them, which really make levels. Yeah. So yeah. Not in her drinking, Caleb, and just all the things going on in his head. Jester's completely screwed up by her god. Bo's got attitude problems. Ford can't face who he is, and Molly is a carny, and that pretty much, yeah, and everything that negative that comes with being a carny. And his amnesia as well. So
yeah. His previous life might be more problematic in many ways.
I don't know. Carnies, but I don't want to say too much without spoilerating them. That being said, it will change somewhat. But yeah, there's going to be a good flow through for all of that, and of course the joke of the Mighty Nine, but there's not 9 of them, and the German accents running through it, of course, and
Nice.
Characterizations are great. The animation is pretty good. Titmouse is leveling up essentially from what they did with Vox Machina. And bringing it. Also, hour-long episodes.
Wow.
So compared to the Vox Machina half-hour episodes, they've doubled the length of the episode. There's only, is it 8 episodes for the first season?
Gee, that's quite substantial. And so they're maintaining their quality there, or?
Yeah.
That's impressive.
Cool. Right. Okay. So I'm done, Connor. There you go.
Okay. So I've got a number. So I guess my guilty pleasure of sorts, sort of, would be Fixed, Gendy Tartovsky's dog comedy. Now, this is a really weird one for Genndy fans because it's quite unlike a lot of what he's done. If you're used to Samurai Jack and the Clone Wars and all that sort of stuff, then you'll find Fixed quite weird. It feels like
where are we at, Connor?
Hey.
Fixed isn't there. Looks like.
Oh, okay. There you go. Okay. Right. So anyway, that would be parent advisory anyway. So Fixed is kind of funny, but it's incredibly and startlingly crude. It really reminded me of Spunko, basically. John Falusi at his most extravagant best or worst, depending on how you see it. And a lot of the early 70s stuff, like Fritz the Cat and stuff like that. So basically, it was a real startling sort of change of pace. There were some bits I thought, "Oh, you've gone a bit too far there," I think. But no, it was interesting. I'm kind of very glad to see he's doing different stuff, and it kind of worked out. But it's startlingly crude in places, and the humor quite lowbrow. Dogs humping and all that sort of stuff. But anyway, it's an interesting thing, and there are moments in it that I thought were really, really good. My hidden gem, I was a little surprised by Delicious Dungeon, actually. Delicious Dungeon is, at first glance, your kind of themed anime series, except it had a kind of interesting thing where our heroes eat their way down through the dungeon. It's actually made by Trigger, I think, who generally make quite unrestrained sort of anime. So this was kind of felt quite different and felt quite restrained. It had moments where it really went for it. But I really kind of like the whole vibe of this whole thing. And I was very surprised because I wasn't expecting that at all. It was quite, well, comfort anime, if you could say that.
For a degree, and then it suddenly gets a tonal shift, and oh my god, you know,
there's a little bit of that. But I'm used
things
to
are happening,
and
and
things
you
like
get
that.
shifts back again. It's
It's interesting. I guess my runner-up would be Zootopia 2. And I think I got more out of Zootopia 2's fantastic backgrounds and art direction. And the world building was just freaking 15 out of 10. I just felt the whole film felt very contrived. I was kind of constantly being reminded of, what's the Ice Disney princess with the superpowers?
Frozen.
Frozen. I was thinking of Frozen 2, where they're basically stepping from one carefully marketed, micromanaged, micro-planned transactional thing to another. And there was a lot of things in Zootopia 2 that felt very contrived in the sense that they had set pieces doing stuff for not necessarily any good reason. I mean, it was certainly striking and cool. And you got that the relationship between Bunny and Fox that works so well. But yeah, it did feel a bit formulaic, I think. It didn't feel as effortless or as, what's the word, didn't feel as unconsciously natural, is that the word I'm looking for the first one. I felt this one was a little contrived around the edges, but the backgrounds and the visual gags and the backgrounds and the world building were just second to none. There's a whole Swamp City section out there that's just worth the admission price alone. But they're flying through all this stuff so fast you barely get a look at it. But no, there's some good stuff in there. And so I think, and the other one was the K-pop Demon Hunters. Not quite my thing thematically or stylistically. You know, I'm not really into K-pop, but the production values and execution of this one is pretty amazing. If you want something that looks flawless and clean and with immaculate design and immaculate color work and lighting and et cetera, you can't go wrong here. It goes between the whole K-pop, ultra princess sort of pop group, and then we'll switch to a completely different tonal shift and pull it up with some startlingly subtle tones and colors and moods and atmosphere. So I got a lot out of K-pop. I didn't think I would, but I did. I mean, I'm indifferent to the music, but I really did like what they were doing here. But I suppose the best of 220.
You didn't find the music golden?
No, I didn't really. It felt a bit K-poppy, I think, would be the thing. So I tend to associate that with the Korean version of Rickrolling, effectively, or Stock Aitken and Waterman. But anyway, it's definitely worth your time, and it's really good, I have to say. But the best of 225, I would say Elio by a whisker. So if I was looking at the Zootopia, Demon Hunters, and Elio, they'd all be in a tight pack. But I think Elio edges out in front a little bit. I don't think it's as strong as Luca, the previous outage they did with the little Italian merboys. I thought that was actually a bit of a better film, but Elio does some pretty interesting stuff. I guess the only problem it suffers from, really, and it's not really a problem if you're into this sort of thing, is that because it's science fiction and fantastical, that means you can kind of get away with anything. And so a lot of it does feel a bit, it looks a bit fantastical and they're getting away with everything.
I found that Elio's character design is gorgeous, and amazing. Like the little boy alien is so
I like the idea that it's a giant bug, and even though they have a very spiky dad that eats people and destroys things, they still have soft, silky cocoons, which I thought was an interesting juxtaposition. So that was probably, I really like that a lot. But it's like you got magical tech, so it's all magical and everything's effortless. And so okay, fine. But I did like a lot of it, and so I think overall, that kind of won it for me. So that's my best of 2025. And I've got to admit, when I'm looking at all this stuff, not enough small animations in there. So I need to get off my backside and start hunting.
Interestingly, the Elio flopped and was not successful in the box office, whereas Zootopia Did Zootopia get to the top again? Because the original Zootopia was the top of the animation.
Yeah,
box.
Zootopia 2's got a
it's
did make it, I believe.
It certainly seemed to be in every advertising feed I was watching. So I think the marketing was probably the size of a small
It was
country.
going up against Avatar at the same time, around the same time as well. So, I'm not sure what the box office is like, but I don't think it bombed. I think it did relatively well.
I think it's one of those things that's going to pick up over time, like a lot of Pixar films do. I guess if I was going to take a punt, I would say this film, Elio, would outlive whatever the new Avatar is. In terms of impact and characters and story. Though I don't doubt.
I quite liked Avatar 3.
So he's been taking critiques on board, I see. Because the last one, the second one, was incredibly one-dimensional. Earthlings are bad and natives are good. It was real.
I mean, James Cameron's not known for listening to his audience, but
No, that's true.
But when it comes to the film, it goes in a little bit deeper. Obviously, you're dealing with the death of a kind of major character in the second episode, and the ramifications of that, and how it carries across. Like choices made in episode 2 carry through to episode 3, character animation on the Na'vi villain in there is pretty nice as well. So she comes across as really aggressive, but kind of sexy, but really aggressive. Yeah, it works really well.
One thing I have heard the Avatar films being described as is that they're actually a good example of haptic filmmaking. And I've noticed this little phrase popping up occasionally. So haptic filmmaking is where you have a film that actually feels like it's somewhere. It's not just a bunch of green screens with a whole pile of visual effects kind of splurged on top of a lot of clip art. And so what you like about the Avatar films, you actually do feel like you're there. They've got a really grounded feel to them, at least visually. So the idea of haptic filmmaking, where there's so many people trying to mimic the kind of big cinema look, that they've sort of forgotten that a lot of big cinema films just set a camera up on a tripod and just shot what was there, and that's what made them work. So Avatar, I think, is definitely worth looking at, simply because it does that sort of grounded realism so well.
It doesn't do the Kubrick thing of your actors are small ants on a massive background landscape.
I mean, it's probably heated up our atmosphere by 1 degree, just rendering it all out. But it's hard to avoid. But I think you could apply that to most animated
anything to eat into the big Bitcoin profits.
Yeah. Anyway, but it's a great. I mean, best film. I think that's a great still you picked there, Connor. I think it sums up the bright colours but subtle hues that it's got all the way through there, and it's all beautifully rendered and beautifully presented and staged and coloured and lit and all the rest of it. So that was the thing that impressed me a lot about Elio. It really did look really nice. Anyway.
All right. I've gone for a very different pick from a lot of people. I've sort of ended up, I've ended up going for a more anime base. So a lot of series I'll be talking about. So, okay, honorable mentions. So we've got The Summer Hikaru Died, queer, supernatural drama, absolutely excellent. The Mighty Nine, I think it was a great series. I was very impressed with the way it handled the darker tones that it brings to bear. Nizar 2, again, classic Chinese epic soap opera-esque story. It is such an amazing watch in like 2.5 hours. And the final honorable mention I'll make is Orb, which I haven't caught all of it because of the subject matter. It's looking at the discovery of a heliocentric universe in a medieval world. So it starts off with showing torture of a scientist and going through from there. And a young individual is discovering that there's something wrong with his astronomy, and he's introduced to the idea of heliocentric universe, and it is game-changing for him. But the way the world is, it's also heretical. So that is well worth a watch. Guilty pleasures. So may I ask for one final thing? This is a take on the villainess genre, where a spurned noble is set to be embarrassed at a ball, and the second prince of the region breaks off his engagement with her, and because she's been so cruel to the girl that he's now in love with, and has tormented her through high school. And she just goes, "Can I ask?" Very well, your prince. I will accept your ruling. I just ask for one final thing in return: to punch this woman in the face, and begins to punch everyone in the room in a bloodthirsty, violent manner. And it's just when you find out what's going on, there's something just cathartic about seeing someone dealing with elitist noble slave owners and just beating them to a pulp. And I can't think why that would be so appropriate in 2025 and 2026. But here we are.
That's great. I mean, that image is so striking. I mean, that expression. My God. I
mean, it's flawed. It does one really incredibly intelligent thing with its villain, which I can't say because it's a spoiler. But it is quite a Brandon neutral guilty pleasure sort of watch for that.
Okay.
Yeah. Next, Hidden Gems. Now I've got two here. Apocalypse Hotel, which is a series of robots struggle to maintain a hotel on Earth. The planet has been abandoned for a century, as humanity has had a plague almost wipe it out, and as the atmosphere becomes toxic, has to leave Earth to survive. So this hotel is running fully automated, waiting for humanity to one day return. And what you get is a zany workplace comedy that is capable of moving into elements of transhumanism and deep time and existential crisis as to how you manufacture meaning. And the very last episode is an entirely silent episode where the android replacement manager is searching for taking a sabbatical to search for a power cell to keep herself alive, and she meditates on her upcoming doom as well and what life has meant to her. But it goes all over the place. You've got alien space raccoons come through. The hotel decides it needs advertising, so decides to launch a satellite. And while we're launching a satellite, we might as well include a railgun on it for defense, and things like that. It is insane and goes a lot of different places, and I just highly recommend it. The other one, the other one I've got there is available on YouTube for free. It's basically a one-man effort. It's called Milky Subway, and it's about 6 delinquents that are sentenced to community service to try and clean a subway, a subway car, train.
Right.
And the train takes off with them on board automatically, and they have to survive the experience. It's like 3-minute episodes. It's one of the most concise short storytelling formats that I've seen. It doesn't waste a beat with it, and the fact that this is pretty much a one man show, it is something special to look at. It's actually getting a theatrical release later this year, and that's going to be very different because it's so well crafted to a 3-minute episode format, and the story beats and action beats land pretty well on those ending and beginning sections. They're having to redesign it, so I think when you get a film, it's going to be a different beast. So
okay.
But yeah, look, highly recommend it. It is beautiful to watch. It's the action sequences and some of the action sequences are just immaculate in their staging, especially the security bot attacking the two boys that are kind of low-level criminals. That is something just to watch and to listen to, because it's done as almost a dance. The music is perfectly synced up to it. It's great. Yeah. So those are my 2 hidden gems. Okay. So runners up. Let's talk about runner up and winning. So one of the things about anime is season 2 can often be a make or break sort of piece for animes. A lot of series have gone into season 2, had a change in budget, haven't been able to follow up on the hype of season 1, and have fallen. This year we got 2 really good animes that stuck the landing and stayed the course. And depending on the day, I'd probably I might even change the order of one above the other. But for me at this moment in time, season 2 of Dan to Dan is my runner-up. It's quite incredible number of arcs. There's some beautiful animation provided by Science Saru that is just absolutely breathtaking. There's a training sequence, which is set against ghosts of classical composers, or they're projections of the ghosts of classical composers. What they are is actually the fear of all the students that have had to suffer through trying to learn to play the popular pieces of classical composers, manifesting into those objects. But the training montage is a send up of Clash on Titan against giant operatic singers acting as the giant titans, and it is something beautiful to watch.
Wow.
And it all ends at the actual season ends up with a kaiju versus mecha battle, which is very referential of Godzilla, as you can see perhaps from the creature in the bottom there, and very referential of a lot of Gundam and Neon Genesis, and even some of the earlier Shogun Warrior sort of things like Manzinger, which you get a giant animated Buddha statue with bits of Gundam and Manga Z, Great Manganza, bolted to it, being piloted by 5 people that all go their separate, unique, almost Thunderbird-esque sort of ways to get into the vehicle. And it's surreal but beautiful. Yeah, that is a good season, but it's not my best of 2025. That I'm gonna have to give to something that's a little less well animated, but rings better as far as characterization goes. And for me, that's got to be the 2nd season of Apothecary Diaries. In this, it establishes its or it builds on its lore more. It establishes the history that it's sort of started in season 1, but it gives us a darker take to it. We learn more about the emperor, the former emperor, and the sort of darkness that was at the center of his court. Okay, this is one of those things I'm going to have to give trigger warnings for people. Basically, it's revealed early on that one of the brides, one of the concubines that he had was 9 years old.
Well,
And that is the taste of the emperor, the former emperor, and they're sort of living in that shadow of corruption in the rear palace. And yeah, oh, I should set the stage first. Sorry. Apothecary Diaries is basically CSI Forbidden City. A young girl is brought to the rear palace, the palace of the concubines, as a slave. She's kidnapped off the streets and sent there, and manages to, through her training as an apothecary. Her father is basically a former doctor of the court, but has been exiled for other reasons. Becomes useful as a poison taster, and ends up investigating various mysteries that go on around the place. So it becomes, season 1 is very much a mystery of the week sort of format, with a Holmesian character. Now, the problem with Holmesian characters is it's easy enough to set up how brilliant they are, but you have to set them up as brilliant but fallible. And Mau has been set up as that, and it becomes much more apparent in season 2. And season 2, you find out that without diminishing her intelligence, out diminishing her wit, and out diminishing how smart she is, you do find out that she's not the smartest person in the room at all times. And in fact, there's a handful of people that are playing intrigue courtly games that are probably smarter than her. And season 2 ends with her getting pretty much owned entirely in an intellectual game. And that is a bold move for any sort of series to make. And I really do appreciate it doing that. It goes on from there, but yeah, it is interesting to do, and it sets itself up well to see how future seasons will go, because a number of those people that are of an equivalent level of intelligence or greater than her, and playing at courtly intrigue, are still active by the end of the season, and might be setting up other things. So yeah, no, it is something to watch from that perspective, and it's something that I find myself going back to quite often. So yeah,
that's cool.
Here we go.
Amazing.
All that stuff sounds great, Dave. I've got a big shopping list to work through.
Okay, well, so I'll send you that and more.
Yeah, I got to say, that's one thing I'm noticing about a lot of modern anime is that it's got some really good high concept stuff. I think, was it Blame? Connor's?
I haven't got that. Yeah, Connor.
Yeah, so that was the thing with the Infinite City that was just growing, and we never see the outside of it. And the film itself felt a bit flat, but the idea behind it was just, that sounds pretty riveting, actually. And I'll probably imagine it would work better as a series rather than a one-off film, because you can build on that sort of stuff and build up nuance. So that's one of the things I like about the streaming forms. The series do give you plenty. It's like most movies are like short stories, a novella, but a series is actually like reading a novel. And that's the thing I really like about some of that stuff. And I'm so glad this animation's doing it now. It's really cool.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I didn't put it in the notes, so it's kind of an off-the-cuff one. Do people have anything they're looking forward to in the year coming? Well,
if Tokyo Nights at the Luna keeps promising what it's does what it promises, then I might be spending some time at the Luna a little more frequently, I think. Yeah, there's some interesting stuff there. I've got to get out to the Luna more often anyway, but it's just I've been a bit time poor of late, which seems to have been a characteristic of the last couple of years, especially with the kind of madness going on internationally as well. It's just filled up all my feeds, and sensory overload is a real thing. Yeah.
Project Hail Mary. So the trailer's out for Project Hail Mary.
Yes.
Of course,
you'd be with that, wouldn't you, Tanya?
Oh
Looking
yeah,
forward to
so
that.
considering it's my favorite book, so yes, I am.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see it. And obviously, the trailer does spoil the book because you really don't see Rocky in the book until a good third of the way through.
Oh, right. So, okay, I have read the book, but maybe I shouldn't.
Yeah, but he's in the trailer, so there's nothing. It's out there, and literally, was it Ryan Gosling says, "Oh, so I met an alien in the trailer." Yeah,
Yeah.
but, we'll see how that goes. But I think if they focus a little bit more on the character relationship between Rocky and Ryland and make that work as good as it is in the book, because there is a real broship between two aliens who are completely different, not just different cultures, but how their bodies function and how
the chemistry of them is quite different.
Yeah, and how it all comes together, and Rocky's just take on Earth nuances is amazing, and how he manages to pull the piss out of Ryland. So, so we get to watch the Hail Mary full of Ryland Grace, and it's going to be a fun film. I'm looking forward to it. I suppose Stranger Things animated series looks pretty good to me. I'm curious to see how the last two seasons of Vox Machina go and tie together. Considering Mighty Nine, they upped their game. So
Yeah, really good.
So how the hell did they go back to that? It's going to be an interesting take. We'll see.
Cool. Lots of homework.
Outside of that, I was to movies 2026 was the Disney movies that are coming out this year. There's Shrek 5, of course. Hoppers is coming up soon. So
yeah, I think that's end of March here, I believe.
Yeah.
I think it's March 4th worldwide, but America. But I think it's like 24th here.
Yeah, Hoppers is definitely on the cards for me. It looks like fun. It's it feels like a piss take of Avatar as well, and it does knowingly nod to it in the trailer. But I suppose the big animation that I'm looking forward to is my second favorite of the Looney Tunes characters, Wile E. Coyote.
Yes.
Versus Acme. If they can build upon the Chuck Jones, it's going to be my poor little heart. Yeah.
Okay, for me, it's a strong year for fantasy.
Yeah.
We've got Freerun out at the moment. Releasing episodes one a week at the moment. I believe Primal's doing the same thing. That's unfortunately I've seen the Freerun episodes. I'm up to date. Haven't had a chance to catch Primal season 3 at the moment.
I'm probably not going to touch Primal until I can binge it in one go.
Yeah, I might wait till I pick it up on physical media and do that. That's probably a good idea.
Maybe.
We've got Witch Hat Atelier coming out later this year, and that looks like it looks like a dose of Studio Ghibli doing a fantasy movie, and it's not, but the vibe it gives is absolutely that, and it's been one of those mangas that's supposed to be very, very good. Incredibly artistic. The whole framing of the entirety of the page is appropriate for the story. So it's an author that's not just worried about the one frame, but the entirety of that page, and sometimes carrying over to the page to tell their story and create a work of art. So I'm very curious to see how that will translate into a visual medium, like a different visual medium. And we've got season 3 of Apothecary Diaries. It's just been announced for the first half of it's coming out in October. And I think we're also going to be getting the season 3 of Delicious in Dungeon with any luck. Season 2 of Delicious in Dungeon with any luck as well. So, yeah, fingers crossed on all of those.
Yeah, okay. Because I got a lot out of the first season of that. So I guess I'm hanging out for the second one, really, if it keeps up that sort of thing. I think Lesbian Space Princess has been on my radar, mainly because it was a local production. But I'm glad Tanya liked it. So that's definitely on my list.
Yeah.
I guess Primal 3 would be on my list. And then I'm going to have to rely on the indomitable Dave McDonnell here to get the rest of the anime.
I'll send you any of that. Oh, almost forgot. There's a new Gundam movie coming out as well. The second in the Hathaway trilogy. So
okay,
that should be good for me.
They made a movie out of the model kits.
The movies and the model kits are one. That's always been Gundam. And
that's right. That's always been Gundam. Gundam made everyone think in the West that anime was, evidence that Japan was a land full of industrial designers. So, yeah, it turned out to be a passing phase, unfortunately, but I do miss it. I'm not sure how it would hold up in this day and age, but yeah, it had its moments. It was always notable for being like cutting edge technology and cutting edge design and hardcore sci-fi.
Well, I know where Hathaway goes as a story because I've seen the last frame of it, unfortunately, because people have no concept of spoilers. It's very Gundam. Yeah,
Pixar have announced a 2D animation.
Ooh.
About a cat in Paris. So I'm curious to see how that goes. Not only that, like as you might have noticed from the heartbeat earlier, the StreamYard that we're streaming from has sound effects now.
No, now we're in trouble.
Well, should we go out to applause because we are at the hour mark?
Oh
We
yes.
are at the, do we run it?
A boom tish. Wow.
Yeah.
Do they have a boom tish?
They have a
A truncated gong. Okay. Yeah.
no. I knew you were going to do that. I saw it pop up, kind of.
All right. Well, I think we should leave it here. I think
so.
it's been good. Yeah.
Yeah. So, Tanya, lead the way.
Goodbye from me, I suppose, since this is my first one back, and it's hot. It's way hotter than it's way hotter than Europe.
And drier.
I saw
Much
some
drier.
cool art. I got to experience the world. A little bit of sweating now is probably worth what I check things out. So yeah.
All right. Well, it's good night from me.
And it's good night from him. Oh man, I can't believe we're still doing the two Ronnies here.
And
Good night.
And Connor still has no volume, but yeah.
All right. Good night, all.
All right.
Good night.
Bye.
Yeah.